Will John Force retire? A look at the future of the NHRA legend. John Force, the iconic name in NHRA drag racing, has been a dominant force in the sport for decades. His record-breaking career has captivated fans worldwide, and the question that lingers is, will he ever retire? A legend's legacy. Force's journey in NHRA began in the 1970s, and his rise to prominence was meteoric. His driving skills, coupled with his charismatic personality, made him a fan favorite. He's clinched a record 16 NHRA Funny Car Championships, a feat unmatched in the sport's history. His dominance has been so consistent that it's become almost expected. The age factor. While Force continues to excel, age is undoubtedly a factor. At 74, he's one of the oldest active drivers in NHRA. The physical demands of drag racing can be grueling, and the risks are inherent. The question of whether he can sustain this level of performance for much longer is a valid one. Family ties. Force's family has been deeply involved in his racing career. His daughters, Brittany and Courtney, have also made significant strides in the sport. The Force family's legacy is intertwined with NHRA drag racing, and it's possible that Force's desire to continue racing is fueled by his family's involvement. The thrill of competition. It's also worth noting that Force seems to genuinely enjoy the thrill of competition. Racing is more than just a job for him. It's a passion. The adrenaline rush, the challenge of pushing the limits, and the camaraderie with fellow drivers are likely factors that keep him motivated. The future of NHRA. If Force were to retire, it would undoubtedly leave a void in NHRA drag racing. His presence has been synonymous with the sport for so long. However, the future of NHRA is bright, with a new generation of talented drivers emerging. The sport's popularity continues to grow, and there's no shortage of young stars ready to take the reins. The question of retirement. The topic of John Force's retirement has been a recurring theme for years, especially as he continues to compete at an age when most athletes have long since hung up their helmets. Force has often joked about retirement, but his actions suggest that he is not quite ready to leave the sport he loves. Several factors might influence his decision. 1. Physical demands. Drag racing is an intense and physically demanding sport. The G-forces, the concentration required, and the quick reflexes needed to control a 10,000 horsepower funny car are challenging for any driver, let alone someone in their 70s. Although Force has shown remarkable resilience, the physical toll of the sport cannot be ignored. 2. Desire and passion. Force's passion for racing is undeniable. He has often stated that racing is in his blood and that he lives for the competition. This deep love for the sport could keep him in the driver's seat for as long as he feels capable. However, there is always the possibility that his desire might wane, especially after achieving so much. 3. Family considerations. Family has always been central to Force's life. His daughters have followed in his footsteps, and he has expressed pride in their accomplishments. As a father and grandfather, Force might eventually prioritize spending more time with his family over the rigors of racing. His role as a mentor and team owner allows him to stay involved in the sport without the demands of driving. 4. Competitive edge. One of the key questions is whether Force still has the competitive edge to win races and championships. While he remains a formidable competitor, the sport is evolving and younger drivers are emerging as top contenders. Force has always been driven by the desire to win, and if he feels he can no longer compete at the highest level, it might influence his decision to retire. What retirement could mean for John Force racing? If John Force were to retire, it would mark the end of an era in drag racing. However, it would not necessarily mean the end of John Force racing. The team is well established, with a strong lineup of drivers, including Robert Hight, Brittany Force, and Austin Prock. The infrastructure, sponsorship, and technical expertise built by Force over the years would likely ensure the continued success of the team. Force could transition into a full-time leadership role, focusing on the business and strategic aspects of the team. His experience and knowledge would be invaluable in guiding the next generation of drivers and ensuring that JFR remains a powerhouse in NHRA competition. The impact on NHRA and the fans. John Force's retirement would undoubtedly have a significant impact on the NHRA and its fan base. Force is one of the sport's most recognizable and beloved figures. His absence would leave a void, not only in terms of competition but also in the larger-than-life personality he brings to the sport. The NHRA has seen a shift in recent years, with new stars emerging and the sport evolving to attract a younger audience. Force's retirement could signal a passing of the torch to the next generation of drivers, but it would also be a reminder of the sport's rich history and the contributions of pioneers like Force. What the future holds. As of now, John Force has not announced any plans to retire. He continues to compete, often defying expectations and proving that age is just a number. However, the question of retirement will inevitably resurface, especially as he reaches milestones in his career and life. Whether Force chooses to retire this year, next year, or several years down the road, one thing is certain. His legacy in drag racing is secure. He will be remembered as one of the greatest drivers in the history of the sport, a man who dedicated his life to racing and inspired countless others along the way. Conclusion. Will John Force retire? Only time will tell. His decision will likely be influenced by a combination of physical capability, desire, family considerations, and competitive drive. Whatever he decides, John Force's impact on NHRA drag racing will be felt for generations to come. His story is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Whether he is behind the wheel or cheering from the sidelines, John Force will always be a legend in the world of drag racing. The final word. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not John Force will retire rests solely with him. While age and the physical demands of the sport are factors to consider, his passion for racing, his family's involvement, and the thrill of competition are likely to keep him behind the wheel for the foreseeable future. Whether he continues to dominate or simply enjoys the ride, John Force's legacy in NHRA drag racing is secure.